All right, here we go again. Ready? That's loose. This is kind of a pain. Hopefully we can fix it. I don't have to do that because it's got coolant in it now, and the coolant's gonna be a pain. Roll, 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 roll your boat. Okay, there. Why are you leaking? Why are you leaking? I got lots of room. There you go. Yeah, let's get in there. I need a light. Okay, now in the previous videos, you can see that I'm pretty sure I took the lines off right there. I never touched the lines here, but take a look. Take a look at this. See that? That would be the reason why it's leaking. Son of a gun. Good thing it's a simple split. We'll tighten that up. Roll it back together again. And away we go. I'm a little bit under the weather today, so I'm gonna do this in small little increments. And then get this outside, clean that up a bit, and we're good to go back together again. Here we go. Went for lunch. Stayed just long enough for the Massey to puke all over my floor. And that's what you get. Took the spring off. Tighten that fitting up 100% there. I'll just double check it again because I'm sick. And I could have been delusional and thinking that I was done. So that's on there. That one's nice and tight. The fitting back there is nice and tight. That one is nice and tight. Be careful of that one though. And this one was loose. I need two hands though. I will check that on the top. And then we can just roll that back together, right? We haven't moved anything, haven't changed anything. So it can just roll back, right? No lining anything up, done. Anyway, let's put the spring back because I know I'm gonna forget that. Roll it all back together again. Figures that you take the whole tractor apart, there's no problem. It rolls right back together again. You roll apart a foot, and roll back together again 20 minutes later, and it won't go. I think I got it back together again shortly after the camera died, which is, I guess you can take my word for it. Button that back together again, stop all the leaks from these hoses, and the coolant coming from the back of the head, stupid thing. And we'll put it back together again. So if you are going to split the tractor, make sure that you look at these fittings, that one and the other one, and make sure that you tighten those, even if you don't touch them, because you don't want to do this twice. It's only fun the first time. So we'll finish buttoning this back up together again, and then we are all done. Here we go. Okay, so we got everything buttoned back up again, got our sheet metal back on, got a little piece of foam in between because that kind of solidifies this a little bit, otherwise your steering wheel's bouncing all over the place. We got our linkages hooked back up again. We're gonna run it outside for a little bit. We'll check for fuel leaks, and then we'll put the other sheet metal back on again. Just want to talk about the wiring. Wiring is very simple on these things. Basically, it's just charging, and then your lights. I won't get into lights because I don't know if they're working, and I don't care. The horn's not hooked up. We just need to give power from the starter to this oil pressure sensor. So as soon as this has oil pressure, it connects these two terminals together, and that's what actually feeds the alternator field windings on the other side. Sometimes they do it through an oil pressure gauge. This one obviously not. Very, very basic. Doesn't even have a fuel gauge. So your fuel gauge is using your eyes. We will run it outside. So, after going to town at least 50 times, I did it. I bought a clamp. Tractor's all done, and there's only one thing left to say, and that is I hope that the guy who thought that this hood being installed this way was a good idea, his name is probably Gary. I hope that Gary stubbed his toe every day. I spent more time putting the hood on than I did splitting the friggin' tractor. And the guy who decided that those little rubber furrows stubbed his toe every other day. Other than that, these are great tractors. So this is gonna be one of the last tractors rolling out of the driveway from a customer. YouTube's been doing really well, and we're gonna continue that, but I'm not able to dedicate as much time as I need to for customers. If something was to break, there's a decent chance that I might not even be home to fix it. So that's not fair to customers. So we will be buying equipment like this because it's still fun to work on. I enjoy it once in a while. We're doing that in between our other builds. Buying the equipment ourselves allows us to do it on our timeline. If I've got to disappear for a week or two, that's fine. We'll get back on it when I can. I've had this thing for 5 months, I think, something like that. Way too long. That is not the way to run a good business, keeping your customers happy. Bye. And that being said, I'm gonna go pick up a diesel lawnmower. So here we go.